So I will start with the sales amount, as I've said, and then cost of sales amount. Straight from the trial balance, it's 1,100,720. And from sales, there's one thing that I need to subtract immediately. What is that? Debtors allowance. That's the first thing. Okay. I don't know if I have anything under expenses. Let me check. Salaries and wages, right? Under income, I didn't have anything, I believe. I'm not sure. Okay. Rent income. Okay. Bad debts. And what else do I have? Rent expense, advertising. I'll have water and electricity, packing material. For now, you'll get marks for these guys. Please know that in grade 12, they will give them to you in the income statement. If it's given to you in the income statement, it means you get no mark. Okay? And we have packing material. What else do we have? That's it, I believe. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to everything, but mine says nothing here. And then I'm going to go to what note did I ask there? I said trade and other receivables. I'll start with trade debtors and leave it like that. Do you see what I'm doing? These amounts, where am I taking them from? Trial balance. I haven't even read my adjustments yet. I'm taking all of them from the trial balance. I'm only recording amounts from the trial balance. And then I'm going to go to ordinary share capital. I only have 480,000, right? But I'll come back to this, which is, isn't it authorized? Were you not given authorized? You weren't given authorized. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Okay, I'll just leave everything as it is. I'll go to the first adjustment. What does the first adjustment say? Let me just read it for you. The first adjustment says, on the 28th of December 2018, T-chance, a debtor returned damaged goods. The selling price was $850. I will stop right there. What do I do with that $850? It affects two. What does it do? No, it's not trading stock. It's sales and no. Debtors control. Sales, it's minus 850. Okay. Because we credit sales, but we debit debtors control. So I'm going to go to trade and other receivables, and to debtors control, I'm also going to minus 850. Okay. I'm lying here. We debit debtors control, we credit sales. Okay, we debit sales, we credit debtors control. We debit sales, we credit debtors control. Okay, that is when goods are returned. Please remember, when actually it's not even sales, it's debtors allowances. Okay, but the original entries that we debit when we sell goods on credit, we debit debtors control, we credit sales. When they are returned is the opposite. So we debit debtors allowances, which is the same as debiting sales, but we credit debtors control. That's why we're minusing that. We're good. Now we're gonna go to the cost price. What do we do to get the cost price? Times it by 100 over 125, because they told you that the markup is how much there? 25%. So the markup is 25%. And the second entry, what is it? What do we do in the second entry? Tell me the ledger accounts affected. Basically, guys, I use the markup. And how much do we have as the markup? It is 25%. And what is the entry? What do we debit? What do we credit? We debit trading stock, we credit cost of sales. So what must I do to cost of sales? Minus Okay, because cost of sales is an expense. Expenses increase on the debit side. So I will minus from cost of sales by the cost price, which is 680. Normally they give you 2 marks for that. But at the same time, that 680, where is it supposed to go? It's supposed to go to trading stock. But there's a problem. What is the problem? They were returned to the supplier. So since they were returned to the supplier, we subtract and add at the same time. We got them. If you're smart enough, I prefer to do this step by step. I would have read the last part at the end. And that's when I was going to realize, oh, damn, now I need to do what? Subtract it because it was returned to the supplier. But note, when it's returned to the supplier, it affects another account. It affects creditors' control. Good one. What does it do to creditors' control? It decreases our creditors' control. I showed you here. I showed you there. Okay. Yes. Stays the same technically. They won't say anything. They'll just say goods return. Okay, by the data. But here they said they will also return to the supplier. Guys, you don't do anything unless they tell you. Don't assume they will return to the supplier. They must tell you. Okay, I'm done with that. Are we fine with this? But when they are returned to the supplier, remember, we debited trading stock, as you said. We credited cost of sales. But now what must we do? Swap it around again. So now we're going to debit what? We don't debit cost of sales. We debit creditors control. Do you see where the difference is? Now we debit creditors control. We debit creditors control because these goods were returned to the supplier. Creditors control is a liability. So it decreases on the debit side. Okay. And we credit trading stock because we are losing their stock again. That's why we have minus here. Can I move on? It's an exam. It's 54 minutes. You don't have time.
Just put this exact thing. Just change the numbers.
What? Why would I do that? No. Do you think in the IEP final exam they'll do that?
By then I'll understand.
You're supposed to be understanding. We did this the whole year, last year.
That's the plus.
And that's why I said this thing, guys, will be there in your final exam next year. So you have to know this, okay? And guys, I'm simply showing you how easy this thing is. It is so easy. The next one, what are they talking about? Trading stock on hand as per the physical stock count on the 28th of February amounted to 698,900. So what do I do? It means that all adjustments that affect trading stock are done now. So I need to close it and do what? Balance it over and check. I'm going to compare the two. The one that we counted is more than the one that is in the trial balance. What type of stock do we have? It's a surplus. This is an extra stock of 1,500. It's a surplus. And a surplus will be recorded in the income statement or statement of profit or loss, but under what? Guys, you don't write trading stock. You write it as trading stock surplus. Because if you write trading stock, it's -1. It's a foreign item. Please understand that. And I have to show workings in brackets, and this will give you 1,500. 2 marks for that. Yes, that's the thing. But the one that you, in the trial balance, you must adjust it according to the adjustments. There's one adjustment that is not here. Well, I printed your test and I don't know if it's there, so I'm allowed to tell them. It's when they tell you that the storage or trading stock was damaged due to fire. Do you still remember that? You need to know how to deal with that. It also affects your trading stock, but you need to remember, you go back to the videos we did last year and then make sure you learn from them. Okay. Why would I get a lot of views?
So many views.
Guys, just go to last year's stuff, and that's why I put them in as a video, so that when you forget, you can always go back. In essence, guys, all I did, the difference between your notes last year and your notes this year is that I just added shares. That's all I did. And retained income. Those are the only things I added. And it will be a different question, okay? I won't put all of them in one question, but I need you to understand that sometimes they put all of them as one question. You must be able to separate. For instance, do you see what they did here at the end? Sometimes it will be given you as a completely separate question, but here they put it as one of their adjustments. They put it as one of the adjustment under the statement of profit or loss, or they put it as one of the adjustment under the cash flow statement, statement of cash flow. But guys, even if it's that way, you still need to focus on that part that you know how to do. So you focus on each part separately. That is why last year I took all the parts, I separated them, and I dealt with each part separately. But I don't know what happens to you when I put them together. It's like I'm teaching you something new.
Our brains don't like it.
No, but it should. Guys, you focus on each part. For instance, this one here, they said packing material to the value of 15,700 was used during the year. What do you do with that? What do we do with that? You put it under operating expenses, but do I put it in brackets? No. I don't put it under brackets because they said it's packing materials used. You put it right at the end. And then you minus, and then you get 370. But that 370 goes to the inventory as consumable stores on hand. But I don't give a damn. Why? Because they didn't ask for it. Well, I said don't prepare. So meaning that in the test, if it's not there, they don't want it. So we know it's consumable stores on hand, but do I care? No, I don't care. And then students will normally say to me, but why 1 mark? It's because they gave it to you. You see, it's 1 mark. And you were busy minusing 1 mark. If it's used, you put it in there, in whatever. 16,070, where does it come from? And then the minus, where is that from? But it's normally the one that we counted. It's consumable stores on hand. We haven't used. And you must learn that principle. We did it separately. You need to understand. I like this one. I like this one here. I asked grade 10s a little bit about it. Guys, it's so nice to start you in grade 9, you know? It's so nice. I asked, like, you can go to any other school. It's fine. You'll be a genius. Okay. They said the insolvent estate of E-Pain paid 40 cents. That's what they paid, right? That's how much we got, right? But you guys are so used that when we find bad debts, we need to take the bad debts amount, the amount that was owing, times it by 40 cents. But here they didn't give you the amount that was owing. What did they give you? They didn't. They gave you the 40%. That 360 is the 40%. That's the amount they paid us.
You gotta just times it by 100.
Yes, I wouldn't multiply it by 100. Because the one that was received was already recorded in debtors control. The fact that it was received, it's recorded in debtors control. But I will focus more on the 60. Why do I focus on the 60? Because that one I did not have. So what am I gonna do here? Now it's showing me fixed deposit. I'm not looking for fixed deposit here. I'm looking for bad debts. Is it bad debts? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, here it is. Phew. Okay. How much did we receive again? 360. Okay, let me see if this will work. Why is it showing me interest on fixed deposit first? Okay, let's do bad debts quickly. Ah, you see what they did here. How much did we receive, guys? It's 360, but that 360 is there 70. I mean, is there 40%? Okay, I'm gonna show it as part of my workings here. So I'm gonna take that 360. Are you sure it was 360? But I'm gonna times it by 60 and then divide it by 40. How much do we get? 216. Are you getting 540? Can you guys just wait a little bit? It's 360. It gives you 540, right? That 540, where do we record it? Bad debts. So I'm gonna put it there. Bad debts. How much do I add to bad debts? 540. And I will get 3,330. But do I stop there? Do I stop there with that 540? Where else does it go? Obviously, you know it's no. Where else does it go? Trade debtors. What must we do to trade debtors with that 540? We need to, come on. But anyway, we minus it, okay? No, for test tomorrow, we said we don't do inventory. I said trade in other receivables and trade in other payables. So I said for this test, just focus on what is in the test, the 5 tables, okay? Okay, what's next? What comes after that, guys? What comes after that? Yes. That one was quite easy because you didn't have to calculate it, right? Again, guys, as I'm saying, I don't know what is in your test, actually. I'll only find out when I start stapling it because I know I printed it, okay? Here, the nice part is that you don't need to calculate provision for bad debts. Why? It's given to you. You were supposed to go to your trade debtors, calculate the final amount, and then times it by whatever they tell you provision for bad debts is. They'll give you a percentage. Yes. But in most cases in your exam, and I don't want you guys to say, yeah, but Sedi Jamela said this, for IEB, they normally don't ask you to calculate it. But you don't know what the examiner is going through. What if the guy is going through a divorce or he found the wife cheating? You don't know. And that day he has to set your paper. Do you think it's gonna be nice? Exactly. See? Yeah, then it's gonna be a little bit easy because he won't care. He'll be like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. He's a good guy. His name is Andrew. He was a good guy. Anyway. So what are we gonna do here? Where was I? I talk too much, don't I? I'm gonna calculate provision for bad debts. How much was provision in the trial balance? I'm gonna compare the two. Which one is higher, guys? How? Which one is higher? Which one is higher? The one in the trial balance is higher. My workings here are completely different to what you guys have. So I'm just gonna have to, you said the one in the trial balance is higher. If the one in the trial balance is higher, the difference, we recognize it as what? Got you, got you. But the problem with the answer that you gave me is that if I say no to that, then it means the opposite applies. He says it's an expense. Guys, you need to understand. I said, do you want your provision to go high? We don't want our provision to go high. If it goes down, is that what we want? If it goes down, we celebrate because it's income. Provision for bad debts is an estimate of future bad debts.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want your bad debts to be high. Why? You want those people to pay you back. Provision is an estimate. And accounting requires us to record it. It's an estimate of your bad debt. So from previous history, you can predict that these people won't pay you. So because the one in the trial balance is higher than the one that is given to you under adjustment, the difference is income, which is 360. Am I right? It's an expense. That's when the one in the trial balance is lower than the one in the adjustment. Excuse me? It's not about the sign. It's about whether it's going up or down. Yes, it's not about the sign. And I need you guys to understand that even for next year, when we do cash flow, when the amount is negative, people think it's a cash outflow. No. You need to read the statement and ask yourself, does this statement result in money coming in or money going out? Okay, so you need to analyze the transfer. Guys, read. Ms. Peloton taught you well. Did you hear the poem that she said? That was nice, though. Yeah, that was nice. That was a bar. You have a good English teacher. Don't mess it up. Okay, let's go, guys. A debtor with a credit balance of 11,700 is to be transferred to the creditor's ledger. Now, this one is bars. This one I will put in there just to make sure that, you know, in maths, there's that question that no one is supposed to get it right. But here, guys, you have to think carefully about what you're doing. You have to think carefully about what you're doing. So this person is owing us, right? But at the same time, we owe him. So think about it. You owe me 11,700, but I owe you too. We don't know how much. Guys, you have done this as kids, and it shouldn't be. That's why sometimes, guys, they take you back to your childhood.
But they mentioned creditors ledger, we owe them.
No, but look at what they're saying. They're saying a debtor with a credit balance of 11,700, right, is to be transferred to the creditor's ledger. First of all, there you need to be careful. A debtor is someone that owes us. Exactly. How? How do you know that it goes back to us owing them? They paid us more. That's why it's a credit balance. Your debtor's control can have a credit balance. Understand? So this person, meaning that this person is, excuse me? Exactly. Or we recorded an amount incorrectly. I don't know. Something must have happened. Probably there was a sale to this person that we recorded, only to find out it wasn't for that person. Like I gave you one example last year where I said we bought from Tony, but actually we bought from Tommy. You recorded as though we recorded from Tony, but it was from Tommy. Exactly. Like Skosana, there's Skosana that is written with SKO, and there's Skosana that is written with SKHO. And now, because you just pronounce something differently, you end up putting it in a wrong account. That could be the reason. Now, what's going to happen here, guys? This data, wait a minute. I'm going to go to our debtors control. The fact that this person, wait, already we decreased by it. Yes, because it was negative. So what must we do? Increase it. So the negative and the positive, what do? They cancel. Do you get it? But at the same time, this person is a creditor. So what must we do to creditors, trade creditors? Edit, because they're owing, we're owing them. Am I making sense, guys?
So when you talk,
In that case, yes, two accounts are affected. It's debtors control, excuse me. They're both increasing. The other one is because it was reduced by an amount that it wasn't supposed to have been reduced by. So we have to add it back. Okay. For instance, if you owe me 500 and you owe me 200 and Neil owes me negative 500, can I say my debtors control is your sum plus his? No, I'm wrong by adding negative 500 because by it being negative, he's no longer a debtor, he is a creditor. So because I made that mistake of minusing his, what must I do? Add it back. Okay.